Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness and another album review, this time of Hasse Froberg Musical Companion. This is the CD I'll be reviewing in this video. However, before I get to that, a quick reminder that the fundraiser continues, and I really need all of your help desperately. My scooter has ceased functioning, and I require technical support ASAP and need to have the funds to cover the support and any and all parts that would be necessary to fix this issue. I've been immobile for about a week now. My son has been kind enough to be assisting me with getting around my house and doing basic things that I typically do on my own. So I feel like my independence has been really stifled by this, and unfortunately, my insurance will not cover any of this. So below the title of this video in the description, as well as in a separate section below that, you will find a spot fund link. Any and all contributions to the spot fund are appreciated, and they go directly towards the continued restoration, and in this case, revitalization of my scooter. I'm like a fish out of water at the moment, and I really did not anticipate this quite this soon or quite in this manner. So, with that being stated, I do appreciate any and all contributions that can be made to the Spot Fund. Please do what you can. It is all appreciated and it all adds up over time. Uh, I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far. There have been some really nice contributions that have come in recently. Very gracious, and I appreciate you all. And all those who plan on contributing, I appreciate you all as well, as your contributions have and will make a world of difference in my life, especially right now. I really have been struggling with this and struggling to be myself throughout all this, and it has not been easy. So, thank you all for listening. I love you all. On with this album review. So, this album has actually got me through this really tough time in my life of basically being uh, stripped of my mobility. And this is Hasse Froberg Musical Companion. I'll show a close up here of the album cover. And I will show you this packaging itself. This is a like a mini LP sleeve. It does have the front cover, which you just saw, and the back cover with the track listing and other pertinent information. A shot of the band on the one side and the track listing on the other side. Now, the CD itself is actually housed behind the picture of the band here. It's in a sleeve that you pull it out of, and that actually contributed to some of the wear and tear um, on this sleeve, unfortunately. But I did manage to get the CD out myself with a little bit of struggle and was able to transfer it to my computer hard drive where I have all my music technically. And I'd hope to have it all on display in my room behind me on shelves once I'm able to do so. However, at the current time, I have everything where I can get to it, and this CD, as I said, it really got me through this difficult time in my life, and there's a lot to be said for this album. I do want to get to the overarching themes, but before I do that, I want to go through the track listing with you guys. At least the tracks that resonated with me and my thoughts on the album and the track listing as a whole. And then after that, I'll give my actual opinion of the album as a whole as well. So here I have the track listing pulled up that of the relevant tracks that really resonated with me. I'm going to go through them with you and sort of give you my take on this album as a whole. So we start out the album with the introduction of sorts, and it's called All I Want to Be Part 1. And it really kicks off the album in a really nice progressive manner, and I really like the groove it has to it. The second track on the album is titled Deserve to Be Happy, which is a phenomenal track. I really, really like that one a lot, along with the following track after that, which is Wherever You Go, wherever you may go, pardon me, wherever you may go. And following that, we have No Messiah, and then after that, we have Once in a Lifetime. Now, the reason why I really haven't said much thus far regarding these tracks, these are all stellar tracks. And they all have their own individual intensity and their own sort of ambiance about them that really, really make them powerful tracks on their own. The musicianship on this album is phenomenal as well. I'll get to that though afterwards. Now then, once in a lifetime, move on to tracks 6 through 9, and to me, these tracks sort of stand as one specific, like, cohesive track or one epic. Um, it's like in many ways how a lot of bands would divide up their epics into these different segments. Over the years, some bands would do this, others wouldn't. They would keep it as one solid track. In this case, it seems like that was the intended theme, was for these 6 through 9 to be perceived as one solid track, with the centerpiece being track 8, which is titled Searching for the Dark. And it is an amazingly moving, intense track, in my opinion. Love it so much. Then after that mini epic sort of interlude, which is marks the second half of the album's uh, sort of introduction, we then move on to track. See here, track 10, which is Blind Dog, and Blind Dog is probably the heaviest song on this album. It has sort of this rainbow, deep purple kind of feel to it with the organ, with the guitars. It's really, really high intensity, high energy, and just very, very intense. And the album is capped off by All I Want to Be Part 2, which is, of course, the conclusion to Part 1. And uh, the only thing I think I would have done differently with this album is I probably would have put All I Want to Be as track 6, um, and had it sort of be part of this mini epic, if you will, that I outlined as far as track 6 through 9. But that's just me. So Uh, it is just a magical album. But I'm going to get to my thoughts here on the album as a whole. I do have it playing in the background. I've been listening to it the past week or so, just really trying to get myself through this time frame. And Eternal Snapshots is one of those albums that is really an album that you want to have, in my opinion. This album is really great progressive rock. Of course, Hasse Froberg, no stranger of progressive rock, being part of the Flower Kings. And this particular album, however, is, in this particular project, this is the sixth album in Hasse Froberg's Musical Companion solo project. And the musical companion aspect of Hasse's work is, in my opinion, sort of like a more intense expression of his lyrical and musical desires and abilities. He's not confined by toning things down at all. When there needs to be high intensity, there is high intensity. When there needs to be aggression, there is aggression. And some of the guitar riffs get pretty intense on this album, but it all works so well as a cohesive piece. The musicianship on this album and in this band is phenomenal. The musicians are phenomenal, I should say, and they all need to be really commended. Not enough people that have reviewed this album thus far have really said how good these musicians are. Some of the bass guitar work on this album alone really is phenomenal and comparable or superior in some ways to anything out there today. Along with that, the keyboard work is phenomenal. The guitar work and drumming is also really on the mark. And Hasse's vocals are soaring. They are just soaring. And they make this album so powerful with his intensity of delivery of all the lyrics and all the vocals on these tracks. So, this is, like I said, Eternal Snapshots, the sixth studio album in the Hasse Froberg Musical Companion discography. Studio album, that is. They do have a live album as well. Unfortunately, I do not have the live album, but I do have the studio albums. I love them all. This is probably my favorite, though, all six. This is really just stellar music. Just, you can put it on and just effortlessly listen to it without having to skip anything, without having to even have your mind wander. You're focused. The overarching theme of this album seems to be one of questioning life itself, birth and rebirth, and where do we fall in the grand scheme of things, in the universe itself? Where do we belong in this crazy circus of a world, or in the crazy circus of the universe that we all exist in here together? It's really an incredible theme to tackle on one album, but Hasse Froberg Musical Companion do it effortlessly, and it is really to be commended. So here you have Hasse Froberg Musical Companion, Eternal Snapshots. I would recommend getting your hands on this album as soon as possible. I have the CD, of course. It is available also on vinyl, I believe, as well as MP3. I could be wrong on the vinyl part, but I think it's available on vinyl. Yes, I'm fairly certain it is. There is a Bandcamp link in my description, so it's easy for you to access, and you can easily obtain this album for your collection. If you are a Flower Kings fan, you do not want to miss out on this. Or if you are a progressive rock fan of classic progressive rock, let's say, yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, King Crimson, any of those bands, and you're new to progressive rock and the new progressive rock bands that are out there, you want to check this out. And you want to check out the rest of Hasse's work as well, both with the Musical Companion solo project as well as the Flower Kings. They are all really phenomenal projects, great albums, great songs, and stellar performances on all these. But like I said, I want to really give the Musical Companion musicians a lot of credit for this album because they put out a quality product with this album, and I'm more than impressed by all of the work. The rhythm section, like I said, bass guitar work really stood out to me, especially on Once in a Lifetime, the single from the album, which I did do a reaction to. You can find that in my videos as well if you like to hear that and see how I feel about that. But also, the drumming, like I said, is just right on the mark. You have some amazing keyboard uh, filler and like interludes as well as solos, and amazing lead guitar and rhythm guitar work as well. I commend everyone on this album and commend Hasse's incredibly powerful vocals and rhythm guitar work. Um, I'm not sure if he played any lead. I think he did, and that is to be commended as well, because this album really is deserving of a lot more attention than it's currently receiving, and so is the band itself. Like I said, this band is phenomenal. So there you have it, Hasse Froberg Musical Companion, Eternal Snapshots, the sixth studio album from Hasse, and the Musical Companion. And like I said, you can find the Bandcamp link in my description below. Right below some information regarding the fundraiser, and sandwiched in between that and the second fundraiser link as well. Once again, the fundraiser is continuing. Any and all support is welcome, especially right now. I'm really struggling, and any support is definitely more than appreciated, and you're all wonderful, and I love you all. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for watching this video specifically on Hasse and the Musical Companion and the new album Eternal Snapshots. Please consider subscribing to my channel, becoming part of the Media Awareness YouTube family. I'd love to have you. I will see you all again soon. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.